Both teams are equaled up at 1 apiece. It was DFM with the first game. DCG do bounce back, but all things the same here in terms of side selection. We're going to have 3 games of red side for DCG, 3 games of blue side for DFM. And if you cast your mind back to last spring, it was actually the exact same. It was DCG playing the red side 5 games straight and DFM taking the blue side.
Yeah, and let's see if DFM can set a much slower pace this time around. DCG are favored again, I think, in a fast-paced game. Just because that's the way they prefer as well. As I'm sure if Cascada has seen this Braum, looking to chunk him out.
Yeah, fast-paced game as long as we have our key abilities up. And key abilities in this game means mostly the Amumu ult and Alistar ult.
Yeah, there's a world where they could have just put Caitlyn mid and swapped the Zeri to the bot lane, I think. Caitlyn destroys Kai'Sa in a 1v1 mid, but deciding not to.
Yeah, the good thing about Kai'Sa, though, and why she wouldn't get as destroyed is because of her Q, it makes farming under tower very safe and easy.
Yeah. As Feng is going to be the one farming under tower this game. No way to contest this lane. Level 1.
Orca with the tilt emote. Maybe start question pinging his AD carry for taking just so many of those Caitlyn Qs to his dome.
Yeah, headshot. Now onto Orca. Does land the pulverize. It's fleet footwork on this Alistar. I love that. It's a solo Q special. Sorry, the what is it called? Phase Rush.
Phase Rush.
Phase Rush Alistar, yeah.
Fleet on the Caitlyn, however.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of damage being traded back again by Feng. On this Ezreal Harp, not able to connect with any of these Qs.
The bot lane of DFM does have to be somewhat careful, as it is going to be junglers both coming down to the bottom side, but they do not have cleanse available for you to pawn. So can find themselves in somewhat of a sticky situation if not playing around that possibility well enough, as 665 actually maybe not reading the play, although actually just looking for a gank mid, Arya.
Yeah, going back to the well is 665. He won't get Arya's flash this time.
No, okay, he does get the E away. That's going to sort of release some pressure in the mid lane. Cascada should have a pretty good time for himself for the next few moments anyway.
Yep. Helps his mid laner get a little cryo. Kai'Sa does just have a lot more wave clear than the Zeri at this point.
Yeah, unless Zeri uses E, at which point you would have probably gone down, or at least lost a flash to Amumu bandage toss.
Yeah, and it seems like the strategy is to shut down Arya in this early game.
Yeah, but speaking of that, Cascada's going to be looked at here. Going for that ward.
Oh, nice.
Going to get hit by the Arctic Assault and does have to lose his flash. So games 1 and 2 was Arya losing flash. Game 3 now, it's Cascada. Very early on this Kai'Sa going to be losing his flash.
Yeah, and we often just see DCG live or die by their mid lane. So advantage now for Arya.
And still having a much better early game for himself. Actually able to pick up this Scuttle Crab as he leaves his camp early, doesn't even do the Krugs. Orca now being looked at. There's the Winter's Bite, concussive blows. Can they find the follow-up? 2 more auto attacks needed. They get the permafrost, but he is able to get out of there on the Alistar. That phase rush doing God's work for him.
Whoa. Feng very lucky to have cleanse there, otherwise he certainly goes down to the Caitlyn trap. Steel is kind of just hovering his bot lane, expecting an Amumu to be here any minute. They see him hit the Scryer Orb, so should have an idea of where he is on the Amumu. But 665 may be juking them out. Steel is going to be waiting here a long time for an Amumu who is straight up not coming.
Yeah, disastrous lane state, however, for the bot lane of DCG. And Udapon and Harp are going to really enjoy where this is kind of stuck, although going to push it in now. Feng's going to recall, and they might be able to get it in time. Actually, Feng canceling. Yeah,
he will cancel and stay to grab this wave, but it will be just a clean first recall for DFM's bot lane. Maybe they hang around if they want to get a BF sword for Udapon, and he's not there yet. Feels really good when you can get that first back.
I think they should just look for a recall sometime soon. They already are winning the lane. They've got the cleanse out. They've got the flash away from Orca, and so while you can somewhat push this advantage a little bit, you're probably better off just getting those items online and pushing it through the item advantages you will find yourself at.
Yeah, get the item advantage, and then also you can just make use of this flashes being down and cleanses being down, playing way more aggressively. Steel going to run into 665, who, very intelligently hit the bot side Scryer plant and then just ran straight to top side, was able to steal a bunch of camps.
Yeah, 2 camps up is he now, but looking for that recall as Tempo now in favor of Steel. See how much he can get back in that time. Should probably even it out.
Yeah, we'll see if 665 does go for his Krugs. Looks like he's pathing to his Wolves, and his Gromp will be up soon as well. Has the Faded Ashes, which is going to give him, at least for a while, a much faster clear than Sejuani, as Orca is here for Arya's Flash.
Going to instead find someone riding a boar. Not going to really result in too much. Actually going to lane now with his mid laner.
Look at the topside river vision for DCG.
Yeah, they're even starting up the Void Grubs is 665 on the Zamumu. Does not quite have level 6, but trying to get it faster by getting this XP these offer.
Yeah, gets at least 2 here. Nothing Steel can do. Steals 1, but has Smite on 665, so 2 Grubs because Braum is so much later to this play than the Alistair. Orca procs his phase rush and gets out of there. Looks very silly running that quickly.
Yeah, and surprising to me in some regards that Rayfaki goes for these Sorks. I know it pushes his advantage a lot better, but ultimately you're going to find yourself locked up in these team fights by the Samumu. It's pretty unavoidable in general, unless you are just constantly looking for flanks, which admittedly the Kennen does like to do.
Yeah, should probably just be doing that on the Kennen, and needs to be very intelligent with his flash this game, Rayfaki. Well-used Kennen flashes in this game are going to be incredibly strong. There are so many targets on the side of DCG for him.
Yeah, honestly, playoff defining, because had J-Team found their way to use their Kennen flash a little bit more aggressively, could have even seen them here in the second stage of this playoffs. Orca looking here at Harp, who will put up that Braum shield, but gets hit away from it, and down comes the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and another bandage toss will connect here onto Arya. Oh my god, the Killer Instinct, Criscado, one more auto attack will do it, it doesn't even need it. The True Shot Barrage will come through, the CC's there, and it's a 3-for-0 team fight, nice and early, and the power of the Amumu being felt.
Yeah, and it's just a chain feed from DFM, who, once they see the Amumu level 6 to their Sejuani's level 5, you just have to give up on your Braum there, let him go down. They don't. 665 punishes it incredibly well with the flash ulti here. As soon as this level 6 Amumu shows up, you need to just get out of here as Arya. I'm not sure what they're hoping for. As nice flash from 665 into the exhaust, and another stun onto Arya means that even though he commits his flash here, does go down to an accurate ulti from Feng there on the Ezreal. Steel not really able to get out of there either. What a disaster in the early game. And now, this is where the mental game comes in. You remember falling behind if you're DFM in the previous game, and you remember what it was like playing against these guys once you gave them an edge.
Yeah, and they do have a lot of buttons to go forward. We've already seen Feng's E kind of bound to a forward movement. And Bandage Toss literally only goes one direction.
Yeah, and Harp without flash has to be really careful. He usually can just walk into this push against an Alistair, but is genuinely afraid of being headbutt back towards the enemy turret. If 665 could be here. Steel trying to steal away this blue buff.
Wow, intelligent by 665 to realize what's going on.
Yeah, this is what we need to see from him on a champion like Amumu. You can't take these fights like a Lee Sin might be able to without his ultimate. Amumu definitely needs the ultimate to take these jungle fights.
Yeah, great punish by DFM, of course. Steel finding that angle, realizing there is no Amumu ult. He has his Glacial Prison and going in, yoinking up a blue buff, catching himself up just that little bit more. Ahead of what is likely to be another Void Grub fight. 50 seconds on the spawn of that objective.
Yeah, as far as the lanes go, it looks like slight advantages in top and bot lane for the sides of DFM.
Minus the kill.
Yeah, once you factor in the kills, you end up, seeing about a 1k gold lead for the side of DCG, who haven't picked up any plates yet. Just the one plate going bot to DFM's bot lane, and you'd hope, I think, when you lock in the Caitlyn to get a lot more done than they have so far in the lane phase.
Yeah, the struggle for Caitlyn is, while very strong in the early game and late game, she does have a power trough in that middle stage. Yeah, so which is also when Ezreal is pretty much at his peak strength.
Yeah, so you're going to have a rough mid-game. If this Caitlyn can't, grab a tower or something, Rayfaki, you got to dodge.
Going to be able to surge on out of there. A lot of movement speed.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I don't think you wanted that to land.
Taco is laughing. Taco is probably praying and thanking God that Q did not hit because 665 has no flash and would have immediately died under that tower.
Yeah, would have gotten the Amumu ult into the Rumble ulti. Orca, 2-man stun.
Yeah, nice ultimate coming through from Taco, but it is just going to force out a couple of movement abilities, and that is also the ultimate here from Sejuani, still using it and going to get out that Alistar ult. In the meanwhile, though, 665 has just solo killed the top lane. Faded Ashes getting the last hit on that. He gets the Void Grubs, and meanwhile, in the middle of this game, and it's Cascada going in with that killer instinct, getting himself one kill. Steel going to have to flash away and does get out of the play with the lightning crash. All this damage coming through from Arya. It is going to time out. However, Taco flashing forward. He's trying to find the damage. He's got the overheat. But it's still Arya with this ultimate popped. The movement speed's going to be enough, and the damage as well is too threatening. 1Q lands, 665 going to throw it, he finds it, the Arctic Assault, nice to cancel that dash, in goes Orca though, and the turnaround, the Winter's Bite does connect, 665 trying to waddle away, waddle, to the very next day, but he gets taken out.
Yeah, this is massive for the side of DFM. That was a really nice play from Steel, recognizing how tanky he is in that situation. We'll see what happens to Ray Farkey here. He just gets headshot by this Amumu. Even uses his ulti, does use his flash as well. What a disaster. Ray Farkey going to be useless for a while on this Rumble. The play initially goes about as well as you'd hope on the side of DFM. They commit so many ultimates, and I think once you trade the Sejuani ult for the Alistar ult, the play is just over. If you're DFM, you don't have the damage here. Top laner is always going to be more useful than your jungler, especially a Sejuani without her ulti. And Arya eats the second exhaust of the game, as that was picked up for Kennen, but he's the one suffering it.
Yeah, now this is the yin-yang of DCG, right? Massive play, they get the solo kill, 65 killing out Ray Farkey, they get another kill in the mid lane, and then they overdive, get caught out with Harp's respawn, and give over a bunch of kills back to DFM. And so that is the way you find yourself back in this game. Arya now has the most gold in the game on this Zeri, and is in a position to possibly look to carry it. Obviously, he's going to really need to get a QSS online as soon as possible, because one Amumu ult can shut him down entirely. Yeah,
Ezreal and Kai'Sa, two of the meta champions that do very well against the Zeri. Ezreal able to kite her out really easily and land some poke. If Arya does try chase the Ezreal engage, though.
And his toss does come through. Steel getting very, very low. The flash forward, and we found the stun here onto Arya, and he needed to carry, but it's just 665 going in and finding absolutely everything. It looked like Steel was going to go down, but he finds the angle, he finds the Zeri, and he finds a kill for Cascada.
Yeah, Arya has his flash, but no chance to use it. Just gets cleaned up. This is why the Kai'Sa can be so good into the Zeri. She has a lot of single target and can chase you over these walls. Plate picked up for Orca and Cascada. The mid 3v3 just very one-sided right now for the side of DCG.
We're going to have to do a comparison after this game, potentially, out of who had the better Amumu between Schönfire and 665. Because so far, this Amumu's looking insane.
Yeah.
But Schönfire's was as well.
Yeah, but we saw in those games Schönfire was playing Amumu. You are actually very vulnerable in this champ. You are a valid engage target. You've got just a Leandri's to your name. And can be just taken before you even get a chance to ulti on this champion. Especially against the long-range Caitlyn Zeri.
And especially as Zeri, very strong. Going for the Blade of the Ruin King, as we said at the top of the day. Does just seem to outperform the Kraken. As
Orca
engaged once again. Orca finding it. He has that ultimate available. True Shot Barrage gets blocked up there by Harp, but Cascada wailing away at these health bars. This is a fight where the Amumu is not there. We are using that Unbreakable Will, but we're rooted up. It's going to be a kill back as the Lightning Crash does come through. Steel trying to tank up for his mid lane. For Arya, the flash forward, the Winter's Bite, the concussive blows, and Arya picks himself up another.
Yep, that feels really good if you're Arya. No ulti or flash. I think the ulti is just coming up now for 665. So, yeah, again, over-aggression from DCG. We see this often.
Two wolves.
Yeah. Another nice engage from Orca. He just cannot resist when he sees two members stacked on each other. You probably just have to run for your life once this Ezreal ulti is blocked by the Braum, though. Orca
played by Utapon.
Yeah, just landing two traps on the Alistar there. And then the Caitlyn ult to help his team out, too. Arya able to follow this up with a nice flash Q from Harp on the Braum.
Yeah, just well played in general by everyone in that play there for DFM, and they find themselves another 2 kills, both going over to Aria on this area. You see the null magic in his inventory, likely to be those Merc Treads.
Yeah, and he needs to rush to a QSS as fast as he can, or needs his Braum to be building a Mikhail's. Braum is going for Warmog, so just needs a QSS at some point.
I can't believe that Harp is not just going for a locket. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I think a locket into Mikhail's makes a lot of sense on the Braum. Or even just the other way around. Feels like it does a lot, considering, you know, 665 just clearly has a target in this game in Arya, who's getting flash ulted on constantly. Steel spotted out here, and 665 does hop in the Herald. Many more members on the side of DCG for now in the bot lane.
This tower is going to go down. Orca trying to find some play there. Does have Unbreakable Will up for himself, but instead, well played. Really, really well played.
Yeah, was about to get stunned up by the Sejuani. Orca hops in the Rift Herald. That's a nice play.
Not something we see very often, but when implemented well, looks really cool, and I think Orca doing so just there.
Yeah, Ray Farkey, I think, going for the appropriate cannon build this time around, has his rocket belt finished up as Arya gets stung by the harpoon.
Yeah, base build thus far. We'll see what that second item is. He has the...
Should be Shadow Flame, I think.
Yeah, could be the Shadow Flame. A lot of squishy members opposing him.
As well as just chucking a Banshee somewhere in his build gets a lot of value this game.
Yeah. Yutapon, definitely doing damage.
Yeah, looking scary on the Caitlyn. Has a static ship finish, probably working towards an IE next.
It is going to be very difficult for Yutapon to find a lot of value in these team fights because he hasn't gone for that cleanse.
Yeah.
If 665 ever sees this Caitlyn on a screen, can kind of just go at him and probably will find a kill. Harp's got a lot to do to try and protect his Caitlyn, and without the ability to use that shield you get from the locket, it's going to be even harder.
Yep, not finished his Warmogs yet compared to Orca, who loses ult here.
Yeah, loses ult. It's traded, of course, for Sejuani's as Yutapon trying to find damage. Feng trying to find damage as well. Both AD carries not really able to do so, as teleport will come through from Taco, so a win overall for DFM. Ray Farkey even here, maybe looking for some aggression under this tower, but Feng should be safe enough to clear it out, and worst case scenario, Equalizer is there. It's going to come down. Taco going to get knocked up by that Glacial Fissure, and it's Cascada going aggressive. Lightning Crash does come out, but Ray Farkey trying to find the way in with that Slicing Maelstrom, but not quite able to do so. It's Feng now going aggressive even more. Harp should be able to block this up. The Guardian does so for him. And now it's DCG trying to get this mid lane tower. Arya, with the wave clear available on Zeri, not even going to be able to walk up to this wave as DCG with 6-5 at the helm, marching down this mid wave. Oh my god, the banish! Wow. Oh my god! What an engage coming through there from 665! This Amumu champ's ridiculous! And just like that, the house comes toppling down and DCG, they claim their prize!
Yeah, that is just 5 kills. I don't think DCG can end quite yet. The death timer should be too long, and they probably shouldn't take this inhib either. It is risky to take an inhib this early, but they're going to go for it on the side of DCG. They have such decisive engage that they've decided they can end this game in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, while you say it is risky...
Here's the bandage toss.
Like, look at this! Lord. Look at this! Oh my god!
And Arya jumps away thinking that he's getting a Mumu ulted. 665 just swaps sides of that fight. 5 for nothing this early in the game is insane.
Well, I mean, I want to bring this all back to draft real quickly before we see anything else happen, which won't be too far away, I'm sure. Game number 1. Well, hold up. There it is, as I said. Harp going to be looked at, going to get stunned up. Yutapon is here to try and help his support out, and looks like Harp will be able to make his way out with that flash. But what I was going to say is, game number 1, we banned the Amumu, right? And it was, hold up. Sorry, guys, this is action every time. Taco going to get looked up. He's going to use that Equalizer, try and keep himself alive. It looks like he would be able to, but it is a really nice ult from Steel to try and turn that around, but as you said, no Slicing Maelstrom means that Taco's able to get out, but Steel's still going aggressively. Doesn't look like the Q's available.
Yeah, this just feels desperate from DFM. They're going to lose a tier 2 bot now. Top lane, rather.
All right, can I say my point?
All right, go on.
Looks like I might be able to.
Yeah.
All right. They banned Amumu, game number 1, right? One of their 3 jungle bans. Game number 2, they're like, this Vi was pretty strong. Let's ban that. So they get Lee Sin. Now they ban Vi and Lee Sin, so the Amumu's open.
Yeah.
And now look at the Amumu.
Yeah, at some point you have to recognize this guy is just 1v9 whatever he's on, and you need to stop banning jungle champ.
Well, you could ban the Amumu, I think. That's a reasonable ban, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe... He's always going to have a champ. The Amumu, to me, feels the most impactful.
Yeah, in the meantime, though, this is why it is risky to take these inhibs early. If you can't end when you take an inhib this early, Feng is just going to be struggling to keep up and farm with the Caitlyn.
Yeah.
They do have 3 dragons now on the side of DCG.
And I think importantly, too, in the current meta, right, there's not much wave clear in comparison to when you have those control mages mid. Those control mages can usually just sit there even at this stage of the game and clear waves and honestly push the wave out. The Caitlyn and the Zeri don't really have the ability to get these waves fully pushed out. And so DCG can just run around the map and take what they want.
Yeah, once upon a time, Caitlyn used to stack her headshot with Runans. She was very good at killing these super minions, but not the case anymore. Just fully AoE spec'd is Udapon this game.
Yeah, actually, wow.
Not a usual Caitlyn build. I've seen a lot more Collector into IE, playing towards Caitlyn's strengths a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember back to what Lemus built first. I think he actually went for IE, just as his first item. I might be wrong.
DCG on the Baron, this is what you need to do when you take an inhib early. Let's see what DFM can do about this. Both sums up for this cannon. He has to make a play.
All the gold that Udapon has collected from farming these mid waves is not even here. He hasn't been able to recall this Baron. It is going to go down. It was very dodgy at 65. Does stay out of the pit, but Rayfaki comes through. He finds a massive ult, but he's not got the damage and no one there to follow up. It's a double kill for Feng, and Feng's still pretty much untouched. And once again, landing everything, landing absolutely everything, and he does go down. It's a triple kill for him though, as he is able to claim that last kill. And everything be damned, DCG will claim their second and game number 3.
Yeah, DCG needed to end this game quickly, and they've done exactly that. This inhib will not spawn in the mid lane. Baron done almost on spawn by DCG. It looked like that cannon flank might do enough, but Feng, another fight playing out of his mind. Cascada on form this game as well. Just 3v3s going DCG's way.
Yeah, Respawn's coming through, but Cascada just sitting there hitting that Nexus while the rest of his team do hit, make sure no one gets to him. But what a game. I mean, DCG, 665 in particular, just having a fantastic showing.
Yeah.
And as you said in that game, I think it's time we give up on these jungle bans. Ban, sure, the Amumu. Ban the Amumu. I think that obviously proved to me right there that this Amumu champ is insane. Ground Zero proved it multiple times. We saw it already before the playoffs from DCG. I think this champ specifically is ridiculous right now, especially when you're opening yourselves up to these 280 carry comps. Get rid of that, and let's just sort of re-go over the rest of the draft.
Yep, I agree with you. I think that was an amazing look from 665 that game. He had to be very disciplined on the Amumu, and he was. He was pretty much only going in when he had flash and ulti, and every time he had it, he would get massive impact.
Yeah.
It would just